Morray Ebony Ruffin, or simply Morray, born November 10th, 1992. Sometimes talent just isn't enough. You can have the voice, the story, and even a hit song, but if you can't manage the industry, the audience, or your own creative growth, the career you imagined may never materialize. Today's feature, Morray, came into the rap game with an unforgettable start, breaking through with his 2020 single Quicksand that went viral and felt like it came out of nowhere. Morray had a unique sound and a story that captured fans' attention right away. A soulful rapper/singer with an ability to blend street narratives with gospel-like melodies, he wasn't just another trap artist talking about wealth and fame. Instead, he offered raw vulnerability, talking about the struggles he faced growing up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But just as quickly as he rose, it became clear that Morray's career hadn't taken off the way many expected, and he may be at a crossroads that puts him at risk of fading into the background. His debut project, Street Sermons, while praised by his fans, didn't quite have the staying power to push him into rap's top tier or make him a household name. The project highlighted his vocal talent and relatable storytelling, but many critics questioned its versatility. Morray's style, characterized by heavy emotion and a slower, introspective flow, was refreshing initially, but quickly revealed its limitations when it came to holding mainstream interest. His music, although deeply personal, was seen by some as too one-dimensional, leaning too heavily on the same themes of struggle and perseverance without showing a broader range. Even with major cosigns from artists like J. Cole and collaborations with big names like Polo G and 21 Savage, Morray struggled to maintain momentum. With new artists constantly popping up and evolving their sound, his style can risk feeling stagnant. Fans are looking for growth, and while Morray's authenticity is commendable, he hasn't adapted or expanded his sound enough to keep listeners engaged over time. Talented artist, but for these reasons, his growth is being stunted. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to you, Better Believes It, on IG for this request. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Morray is a rapper and singer that grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, that spent some time in Pennsylvania, where he was first inspired to make music and take things seriously. Life wasn't always easy, and he often turned to music as an escape. Singing in church helped him develop his soulful sound and polish a voice naturally made for the music he makes now, while his love for hip-hop added grit and authenticity to his style. After years of grinding in obscurity, Morray's breakout came in 2020 with his hit song Quicksand. The track went viral, amassing millions of streams and earning him cosigns from hometown industry heavyweights like J. Cole and DaBaby. In 2021, he signed with Interscope Records and released the song Trenches before his debut mixtape Street Sermons not long after. It did well on the charts, peaking at 41 and 17 in rap, but since then, it's been a bit quiet for the breakout potential star. Stunt number 1, the oversaturation of his sound. Morray's entry into hip-hop came at a time when the genre was experiencing intense competition from many new artists using the melodic tone and struggle rap references in their music. Unlike previous eras, today's hip-hop market is packed with artists vying for attention on streaming platforms and social media, and most times they all sound the same or seem to target the exact same audience. The rapid pace of content consumption means that even extremely talented artists can struggle to maintain visibility if they don't consistently deliver new music or adapt to trends, aka ride the same wave. Morray's sound, while unique, hasn't been able to compete with other rap artists in the same lane thus far. The oversaturation of the hip-hop landscape is even more challenging for an artist like Morray because he's positioned himself as a struggle rapper, a niche that includes emotional, introspective rappers like Rod Wave and Polo G. Though this style resonates with a certain audience, it can limit his reach in a market craving versatility and constant reinvention. As new artists emerge with similar sounds or established artists expand their catalogs, Morray's lack of differentiation becomes a barrier. Without innovation to help him stand out, Morray risks blending into the background of a very crowded industry. For rappers that slow down because so many others utilize the sound they do, they can easily find themselves seeming like they're attempting to ride a popular wave, even if it feels original to them. Add to that, the artists in Morray's lane like Rod Wave and Polo G and others make better music, or at least the fans feel they do what he does better than him, and that can create a situation where they simply choose up and feel why listen to you when there's a better option in the same direction. Stunt number 2, limited versatility and range. Morray's strength, his deeply soulful, gospel-inspired approach to hip-hop can also be seen as a limitation, seeing as his music often draws from the same emotional pain well of struggle and perseverance. While these themes resonate with many listeners, they don't offer much diversity in sound or storytelling. Consistency in theme and style can be an asset, but it can also lead to predictability, especially when every song seems to carry the same emotional weight. Artists with long-lasting careers often find ways to diversify their sound and content and offer different perspectives on life, like happiness, fun, the party, or triumph, allowing them to reach a broader audience. Morray, however, has yet to show that same kind of versatility. While his raw, emotional lyrics and unique voice are distinctive, they can start to feel one-dimensional and in the same emotion as always. He released a song a day ago, and while speaking on how his life has drastically changed for the better, it still feels like an overload of struggle to take in at one time. Imagine an entire album of having to sit through that same emotion. This lack of versatility might also explain why his debut album / mixtape Street Sermons didn't make a stronger impact. Fans could feel the pain and authenticity in his music, but there was little to differentiate one track from another. This uniformity limits Morray's ability to appeal to audiences who crave fresh sounds and new perspectives, and it could be why his music struggles to maintain momentum beyond his core fan base. Without a willingness to experiment and push his artistic boundaries, Morray risks being pigeonholed as a one-dimensional artist. This image of predictability can limit his appeal and prevent him from tapping into a new, diverse market. As much as his fans love his signature sound, the broader industry and casual listeners need variety to stay engaged over time. I understand having direction as an artist, but some different looks without the struggle of every situation may be a good look. Maybe even as drastic as something EDM or pop infused could be in the form of a feature may help him appeal a bit more. Stunt number 3, inconsistent output and weak promotion. In today's digital-driven music industry, consistent output is crucial for staying relevant. Fans have short attention spans, and platforms like Spotify and Apple Music favor artists who release music frequently, keeping their names in rotation. Morray's relatively low output sent Street Sermons without follow-up singles, mixtapes, or noteworthy collaborations has likely hurt his visibility. Artists such as NBA Youngboy or Lil Baby are constantly releasing music, keeping their names in the spotlight and maintaining fan interest. Morray's sporadic release schedule, by contrast, makes it easier for listeners to lose track of him. Furthermore, Morray's promotional efforts have been less impactful compared to other artists with similar talents. Following up a strong debut requires the right marketing strategy to sustain momentum, and Morray's team has struggled in this area. His social media presence isn't as dynamic as it could be, and his outreach to other artists for features or collaborations has been minimal. Building a career today often involves collaborating with artists outside of one's genre or engaging in strategic partnerships to introduce new audiences to the music. For instance, Rod Wave's collaborations with popular hip-hop figures have helped elevate his profile, whereas Morray's connections, while credible, haven't created the same level of buzz. lack of aggressive promotion extends to his team's approach to releasing music. When Morray does drop new content, it rarely makes a significant splash, suggesting that the promotional backing isn't strong enough. An artist's team plays a crucial role in guiding their career, aligning releases with trends, securing media appearances, and leveraging social media to build fan engagement. In Morray's case, the weaker promotional push has meant that each release arrives with less impact, resulting in slight returns and fading visibility over time. He's told the story of J. Cole advising him to scrap all his music and constantly sending him back to the drawing board to start over, so that could be where he finds himself overthinking his music, and it's caused him to release less. Either way, it's not enough to compete and keep interest going. All in all, only time will tell if Morray can adapt to the challenges of the modern music industry and make the necessary adjustments. If he doesn't, he may remain an example of unrealized potential in an era where talent alone isn't enough to guarantee lasting success in the current music landscape. His niche style, limited range, and inconsistent releases make it difficult for him to break out beyond his initial fan base, all while he attempts to compete in a crowded field of hip-hop artists with similar stories and appeal. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth is being stunted. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic, and I'm out.